Hey everyone, welcome to the tutorial on the basics of Google Keep. This video is going to be very short and sweet because Google Keep, the main feature that it has for you is to be able to take notes and to organize your notes and keep them straight, especially if you're in a district where you're allowed to be on your computer while you're at PD or while you're at meetings. This can be super helpful to have them all in one place. So I'm just going to go over briefly with you guys uh, some options that you have with this. I have just recently started using Google Keep because I've been seeing a lot of stuff on it, and I love it because now I can go in and find all of the notes that I've taken throughout the entire year, just with some simple features that Google Keep has. So, to start off, if you just search for Google Keep, it'll come up. If you go to the waffle, which is what I like to call it, and you can find Google Keep. Then you can find it that way. You can also, I believe, create Google Keep in Google Drive as well, just like all of the other apps within the Google Suite. So when I get to Google Keep, basically it's going to pull up my notes. And so the view that you are seeing right now is actually when I go to search for notes. But I wanted to point this out because you can search for your notes really easily by keyword, or anything like that. Like if you had, like I have a website to-do list. But you can search for them by types, so you can create different types of lists and you can find them that way. You can add labels to your um, notes, which right now the only label I have is website, which I definitely, because I've been playing around with this, I need to add more. But you could do website, you could do lesson plans, you could do professional development, you could do, I don't know, classroom, whatever. So if you were searching for notes or if you want all of those specific types of notes to pop up, you could click on that label and then they would all be right there, which is super helpful. And then you can also search for them by color. So maybe if you're like, no, I don't want to add, like I did color code mine based on the notes I've taken so far. But if you were like, no, I don't really need to add labels, but you like making things look nice and you like adding colors, then maybe you code yours however you want. And then you can search for it by like the color that you're looking for. Um, Reminders are really just like if you add a reminder within your notes, it'll let you know. You can edit your labels here. You can also see that this is like, if I click on this, because this is a label I've made, then it will also pull up everything within that area, which for the website to-do list, I keep a running list, so I only really have one list that I'm working off of. You can also archive the notes as well. But for the notes, when you go to Google Keep, it'll come up with something that looks like this. To take a note, all you have to do is click on it, and then you can title it anything. So I'm going to say Google Keep tutorial. And then you just start taking notes. There's a few options that you can add in to your list, if you will. The one that I really like would be to add it. We'll normally say add check boxes, which I already did. That's why I showed check boxes. So you could actually have like a running list where you can like click off and check off as you do things. This year I will be in a new role, and so I'll be an instructional coach. I'll be getting into classrooms a lot. And so what our plan to do is to create a list with all of our staff names on it, and then with check boxes. And so once like I've been in the classroom or once like the administrators have been in the classroom, they can also click off that name. And the way that they're able to see that is by being a collaborator. So just like with all of the other Google app features, This one also has a collaborator mode, so you can share it with somebody and then they can see and add to your list. This is super helpful if you are doing something with another staff member where you definitely need to keep things straight, or it's a big project. For example, like if you are in a co-taught class with a teacher, with a SPED teacher, or if you're the regular ed teacher, and you know that you guys are going to be a true partnership in this, and so you're like, okay, we need to come up with a way to like know what each of us needs to do. This could be a great option for you as far as like creating a to-do list, and then you both have it if you've shared it with each other, and as you get things done you can check them off the list. You can also add things into it, so like if you're working on certain resources you can link those resources within the notes as well. A couple other options, you can have like remind me, or those basically what we talked about earlier, where you can set something where it needs to give you that alarm, or it's like setting that off. You can change the background options. Those were those two colors that you saw on mine, but you can literally change from all of these. You can even choose from these like backgrounds as far as images go. You can add your own image, which I've seen a lot of people do this, where they'll go to Canva or they'll go to Google Slides and they'll basically like create like a really cute header, and then they will add that like with their notes, and so they so like it's really nice and pretty when you pull up all of your notes. So you can definitely do that, or find an image that goes with it. And then we already kind of talked about this, but you can add a label, you can add a like add drawing, and so on and so forth. You can copy this to a Google Docs. If you're like, you know what, I need to put this in a different format now, you can go to Google Docs, and then you can also see your version history. So if you feel like if you lose some of your like checkboxes, or if you lose something on here and you're like, where did this go? Or if you're like curious because you're working on it with somebody, you can go to the version history and see that there. You can also pin the note to make sure that it is like it's pinned and it stays there. So if, like for example, with the list that we have with staff members, I'll pin that, so that's the first thing that'll be up there, so that like every time I get to Google Keep, it's like the first thing that I see because I'm going to be using it regularly. So if you have any questions about Google Keep, please let me know. I'm very curious to see if you guys like this option. I know I'm finding it pretty helpful with what I've done so far, but I definitely know that it's now like it's a newer thing within Google, and so my goal for you would be honestly just to get in there and test it out, or try it one time and see how you like it. And if you do that, I really hope that this tutorial helped.